Hi everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. My voice sounds worse than I actually am, but I am still that's a word, battling the allergy train. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. We've been in the 60s, tomorrow we're going to be back in the 40s apparently. So this may just be a running theme for the spring until the weather finally calms itself down. Yeah. So I apologize for any coughing that happens. So yes. All right, so we've got Hall, we've got Whips, we've got the week's plan, um, and we've got Oz, and we've got Q&A. So there's a lot going on today. Um, so I will be doling it out as best I can. Um, all right, so we'll start with the Q&A. Well, first, how was everyone's week? Good. It's February. We all made it through January, okay? Let's keep going. And Carol Channing made it to her 95th birthday.
Yes.
So, for those of you, I want to say it's 95th. I may be wrong. I may be having a complete and total moment of stupidity. But I'm pretty sure it was her 95th yesterday. I'm double checking my facts here. Probably should have done this earlier. Seriously, Playbill.com? You didn't do a single damn thing for Carol's birthday? Seriously. Okay, well, while I'm double checking this, did anybody watch Grease Live last night? Because I thought it was pretty fantastic. Yeah, yesterday was her 95th birthday. Happy 95th birthday, Carol Channing! Um, but yes, so did anyone watch Grease Live? Because I personally loved it. I did. It was better than it had any right to be. A lot better. Anyhow, so Q and A. Well, first, this isn't really a Q&A, but props to JocksGirl1 for catching that my name is actually in The Wizard of Oz. Sort of. An aged term for attic is garret. And like the first 5 sentences, it's there. So, props to you for catching that. And for reading The Wizard of Oz. In fact, any of you who've been reading it, props to you. All right, Alex Croft asked if there were shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that I would recommend worth driving in for. My answer is yes. The closest, she lives in Abilene, but I would recommend Stitch Niche, Threads That Bind, even though I still haven't been there, but Katie raves about it, and French Knot as being my three. Stitch Niche is in Arlington. It's my usual. French Knot is in Fort Worth. It's primarily needlepoint, but they have a crap ton of specialty threads. In fact, they were the only place I was able to find Arctic Rays from Rainbow Gallery, so yay for them. I also burnt the roof of my mouth tonight, so it kind of hurts. And then Threads That Bind, I'll be visiting on the 15th. So, yeah. Santos Rivera asked if I've ever stitched a Mirabilia, and if so, which one, and do I have a rotation, and can I share it? Well, answer to the first one is yes. Let's see. She's in here. I don't remember what her name was now. I want to say this was maybe Gwen. But I think I renamed her Regina because she's holding an apple. But this was my first Mirabilia. I did her in about 15 days. And I did her on Ada. So there she is. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I have another one that I got really frustrated because the chart was so weird to follow. It's Seaflora. Eventually, I will go up to Staples or somewhere and get them to actually copy it for me so that I can have a working copy that is readable and not super tiny. Keyword eventually. And then I've seen several others. Several of her new witches are stunning when you actually see them stitch. So there's a couple of them out there that I'd like to do. I've got a handful. Chart-wise, I've got, well, here's Seaflora. I've got Raven Queen, and I think I actually want to do her in a white conversion and make her the White Witch from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I have Gathering Eggs. I have At the Met, which I have a conversion to make into Carol Channing and Hello Dolly. And I have all of the Snow Globe Village, so there's the Green Cottage, the Pink Cottage. Oh, here's Anna, is who I did, or Anna. Anna, that's who I did. I didn't do the cat, because I didn't like the cat. I did the blue, I've got the Blue Church, Gray Cottage, Blue Cottage, and Lavender Church. So, eventually I will do all of that. Keyword eventually. My rotation, yes, what I do is the first of the month I do my stitch-alongs. And last month I did Oz, then Magical Creature, then postcards. And I work on Scream House at work. This month I did Magical Creatures first because it was the shortest and I had insomnia and it was closer and I didn't have to get up and cut paper and all this stuff for the Munchkin. So I did Magical Creatures first. I'm going to start Brooks tonight, which you'll see later, and then I'll do Paris. Vive la France. I don't know if I'm going to just rotate which of my stitch along ones I start at the beginning of the month. It may be random. Then after that, I kind of free-for-all it. I go for the things that are calling to me, and I tend to spend a week on each. I want to go back to Blue Jeans and Daisies. I'm also definitely going to be working on Fairy Tales this month. And then I will also be starting, and I'm only going to, I say now, but the plan is, as of now, I'm only going to work on Home of a Needleworker on the 15th, when the 4 Stitchers of the Whipocalypse are together, and then it'll get put away until some other things are finished, but I am going to start it that day. Let's see, next question. Let's see. Oh, thank you to everyone who wished me well and told me they liked my new haircut. Scully Girl asked me how did I get into cross stitch. I got a chart for the Emerald City off of an Oz group and really liked it and thought, oh, this would look great in my room. And so I started stitching it and I went, oh my god, I love this. This is the greatest thing ever. And that's how I got started stitching. Let's see. Wendy Davis asked me how long have I been stitching. Almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years come May. And I have not done any Hades. I have one of the Wizard of Oz ones fully kitted. I have the fabric. I have the floss. I don't have the nerve. I'm not a big fan of full coverage pieces, so I've not really felt the need to do it, but eventually I probably will because I really do like the piece. I think that gets me caught up on the videos. Oh, no, I already did answer that. So, I think I'm caught up on questions. Alright, so haul. Alright, so first, I got my first fabrics from Fabrics by LJ, which is Lucas Johnson. It's his group on Facebook. I got 2 pieces, both of them linen, both of them 32 count, because that's what I work on primarily. One of them is Teenage Dream. It's color 306. It's really pretty blue, pink, and purple. I don't know what I'm going to put on it, but it's gorgeous, and I like it. I assume, I may be wrong, but I assume it's actually named for Katy Perry, and it reminds me of her hair. So, but he does all of his releasing. He releases all his colors, or he dyes during the week, and then on Sundays he posts in his Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/fabrics by LJ. And he posts all his colors, and you just comment on what you want. I also got this one, which is called Mint, which is a really pretty, it's more intense in person. It's a blue-green, and it's absolutely stunning. I've not, obviously, started using them yet. I don't know what I will use them for, because very rarely do I actually have a specific project in mind when I'm buying my hand dyes. I mostly just am like, oh, this is pretty. Oh, hey, I can use it for this later. Oh, this one's actually 28 count. Forgive me. It was 28 count. But it's really pretty, too. They're really, really, really pretty. And Lucas is a really great guy. His prices, I think it was $50 total for the 2 fabrics, and that included shipping. So he might be a smidge higher than some of the others, but he's a really good hand dyer and a really awesome dude. So you should support him. Then I got my last of the Stitchy surprise boxes that I ordered from Stitchy Box. And I was one of the ones randomly drawn. I got the $50 pack. So, fabric-wise, I got a fat 16th of 36 count Dove from Weeks Dye Works. It's showing up more gray here. It's more green in person. I got another... This is a fat 16th of 35 count Guacamole. And then a fat 32nd 28 count Lugana. This is my first ever Lugana. It's Bluebell by Silkweaver. So that'll be good for something. And I didn't have to give Silkweaver my money. That always makes me happy. And I got the flosses, and the flosses are phenomenal. Well, I got more of these little doobies that I still have no idea what I'm supposed to do with. But I have these little doobies. Doobie-doobie-doo. Okay, so, as we all know, I like my bling. I got some Gliss & Gloss Sterling Blending Thread, number 11. It's a rainbowy color. I got some Weeks Dye Works 3-strand cotton floss in whitewash, which is actually, I think, my favorite white that they have. Some Gliss & Gloss Color Wash in number 583, and it's sort of tans and grays. I got 2 Vineyard Silks, Pink Pearl, and Popcorn. Popcorn is a little bit more green, I think, in person, but this one's probably going to wind up on Glinda. So, well, this one is another Soy Luster, number 209 Siren. And this is 100% soy silk. It's silk made from soy. Pretty awesome. And then I got some Karen Wildflowers, which is their stranded cotton. That's kind of a pearl weight. This one is Black Hills, and it's black and grays and orange. Be very good for Halloween-y things. This one is Mocha Rose, which is sort of a red and brown and green combination. And this one is Meadow, which is greens with a little bit of pink running through it. So, there's those. So, yay, Stitchy Box! Yay! My actual Stitchy Box for the week has shipped. I will do an opening video. My Dragonfly Lotus, I think, is shipped too, maybe, or maybe it's just the threads. Something is shipped. I don't know. I basically throw money at Liz, and she sends me things, and that makes me completely happy. So I never really know what I'm getting. But, yeah, and again, I say this too often, I'm sure, but just because you don't buy from Liz doesn't mean you... I'm not saying buying from Liz... I always screw it up, too. I'm not saying buying from Liz will make you a millionaire, but I'm not saying it won't either. Yeah. Alright. So, let's do the whips. Or the work... Whoop, falling. Let's do the whip updates. This is as far as I am on Screamhouse. I actually did not start it today because I realized I didn't have most of the floss with me. So I need to put that in my car. So instead I worked on Magical Creatures because it was with me and I was really close to finishing it because I had a bout of insomnia last night, but that's another story. Never mind. Anyway, so I've got the outline backstitch done around the 4 walls and I started on the floor. So I will resume backstitch once I am done with this month's part. I think I'm probably going to do 2 roof pieces, but I may do a wall piece to see how well I do doing those at work. But definitely something will happen. So that's, like I said, that's my work stitch. So that's going back in the bag after I get the floss in there, because I'm just going to throw because the floss is all in those bobbinettes. It's not being used in another project. Just, I'm going to throw it in there, call it a day. All right. So last week, as promised, I worked on Blue Jeans and Daisies. I did not get quite as far as I wanted to. I wanted to finish all of the bottom bands, but the weekend and the week, there were some things that went on. Nothing bad. It was just busier than I anticipated being. So nothing actually got done. It didn't help that I was really not feeling well the first half of the week. So here's what I got finished. I finished the ABC and the 1, 2, 3. I finished out all of the ladybug outlines and the little green parts of their flowers. I'm going to do ribbed spider webs for the flowers inside it. So that's actually going to have to wait until probably almost the very end, because I don't want those to get crushed under a Q-snap. So I did that, and then I finished out the flower band at the bottom, and those are all star stitches. And I really love them. They look like little flowers. So I will be going back to Blue Jeans and Daisies. It's going to be what I work on after my stitch-alongs are done. And I'm going to finish out the bottom bands. And then I'll move on to something else. So I'm going to finish the bottom bands by this month. Then next month I can start and get myself going on the last little bits of it. I do expect that I will finish it this year. I'm hoping I can finish it in the first half of the year. That would be really awesome. Not because I'm ready for it to be done, like because I'm not enjoying it, but just because I feel bad that I haven't finished it already. Alright, so then Magical Creatures started last night. Oh, there are those scissors that I couldn't find earlier when I was at the dinner table with the bag. So February was a Enchanted Frog. I did a little bit of changing, not a lot, very little structurally. I took out I took out the white stars and dots because I thought they would look too cluttery. And I did the bubbles that are going to be over the cauldron are going to be beads. But here it is. Like I said, I had a bout of insomnia last night, so I had already stitched February because I said I can cheat and do those early, and I was kind of at a standstill. I didn't have a lot to do yesterday afternoon because I wasn't going to be able to get where I wanted to on Blue Jeans and didn't want to start what I couldn't finish. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch February. And then last night I couldn't sleep, so I did this. And I used a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of it from Stitchy Box. The cauldron is Anchor 403, which came from Stitchy Box, and it was my first time using Anchor Black, and its coverage is phenomenal. The highlight in it is DMC 413. The potion is Kreinik Petite Silk Lame Braid in number 135. That stuff's phenomenal to work with. It's a metallic silk, and it's amazing. So, and there are little bubbles here. Those are going to be beads. The shelf is DMC 433. The green bottle is DMC 906. The purple bottle is DMC 553. And both of their labels are DMC 3685. The heart bottle, and you're going to all think I'm insane for this, but because I wanted those colors and they were only available in this, that's what I went with. I actually used DMC Light Effects, and I didn't kill myself. So the red is DMC E321, and the blue is DMC E747. The frog was my agony piece because I had a lot of trouble finding 3 colors, and what I ended up going with worked a lot better than I initially thought it would. The outer legs, or the back legs, excuse me, are Classic Colorworks Bean Sprout, which is my first time using Classic Colorworks. The tummy was also Classic Colorworks. Tummy is Bean Sprout. The back legs were English Ivy. The middle was Baroque Silk and Fresh Basil. That stuff is amazing. I got that out of Stitchy Box, and it was amazing. It was my first time using it, and it's wonderful. And then the crown is Kreinik 102C. And I did move it over a half stitch because I needed it centered. My OCD wouldn't let me. And then February is done in Kreinik Silk Mori 6806. 6086. So, I will definitely be getting more of that Silk Lame. I will be using it for sure. For the Phoenix next month. Alright, so next up is the Mayor of Munchkin City in the county of the Land of Oz. So there he is in black and white, because I was trying to save ink. So I've got my fabric cut, I've got my flosses chosen, and as soon as we're done here and this starts uploading, I'm gonna be stitching it. So, and I should finish him this week. So next week there should be a dialogue on Munchkins, but I may save that for the week after. It depends. I know right now there's probably going to be almost nothing done over Valentine's weekend because it's his birthday and Valentine's Day, so I'm probably not going to get a lot done. But we'll see. He may be like, it's my birthday, I want to read. Okay, you read, I'll stitch. Works for me. So we'll see. And then once that's done, I will start in on the next part of Clouds Factory, which is Paris. And it goes here. So, yeah. So it's all shaping up. And then Paris is not as, at least from looks, and I know looks can be very deceiving with Clouds Factory. I don't think it's going to take me as long as Venice took me. So then I'll go back to blue jeans. And yeah. So that's where we're at with that. Yay. So, since this is February and the month of love, it seemed only appropriate that I theme it around the Tin Man. So the first thing I'm going to show is, and unfortunately, I'm going to actually grab my reference book for this. We're actually going to tie this in with two. You're going to get a little bit of a book-based lecture this time, or discussion. I'm going to do that so it doesn't fall over. Okay, so one of my favorites of the later Oz books is the 13th. No, excuse me, the 12th. And that would be the Tin Woodman of Oz. And in the Tin Woodman of Oz, the Tin Woodman and a couple of characters, including Polychrome, the Rainbow's daughter, and the Scarecrow, and I think it's Woot the Wanderer. Yeah, Woot the Wanderer. Go on their way to find the Tin Man's lost love. Tin Man, for those who have not read the book, was cursed by the Wicked Witch of the East because the Tin Man was in love with the Munchkin Maiden. Munchkin Maiden's mother was really lazy and didn't want her daughter to get married and leave her because the daughter did all the work around the house. So she traded the Wicked Witch of the East, like 2 cows and a pig or something bartery like that. And so she curses the axe, and slowly he becomes made of tin because he keeps accidentally chopping off parts of his body. And then eventually doesn't have a heart, hence why he goes to see the wizard with Dorothy. So they set out because he decides he wants to find Nimmy Amy, his long-lost love. And along the way, they meet a tin soldier who happened to be another lover of Nimmy Amy, who was also cursed by the witch. But in Sifisor, it was a or in Seven Acts, it was a sword. This girl was not someone to be around, apparently. Crazy misadventures happen. At some point, they all get turned into animals. But it's one of my favorites of the book, and of the book series. And it's interesting because there are two. It's had probably the weirdest history. They I'm trying to find out where the. Unfortunately, there's not anything that says it specifically. Um, they did an oversized edition in around 1940. This is that edition. I don't have anything earlier. With the new cover art. And no one knows who it was. No one. They never did any other books, to our knowledge. No other Oz books. And they did this as well. There was another artist who did covers for Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz and the Land of Oz. Never did anything others. Never been credited. No clue. So this one's kind of cool for that reason. And like I said, it's one of my favorites. But a little bit more bizarre than that was when the copyright ran out on the original illustrations. They decided they were going to do modernized illustrations. And for some reason, they chose Tin Woodman to be the first of this grouping. So Dale Ray, who probably is best known to the older generation out there for basically being one of the main artists, and I think possibly even the creator of Mary Worth, or a Mary Worth-style comic strip, was chosen. She did the Tin Woodman of Oz, she did the Wizard of Oz, why you would do book 12 and then book 1. And then she was going to do the third book, Ozma of Oz, but it got canceled midway through because it didn't sell very well. So that's the other oddity in this. So there are 2 Tin Woodman of Oz's out there that have seemingly ersatz illustrators. See, here's... they're nice drawings, don't get me wrong. I'm not as wild about her ones for Wizard. And they're very clearly inspired or adapted from John R. Neal's. But yeah. Yeah, so there you go. So, first entrant of the Tin Man. Tin Woodman of Oz. And it is Tin Woodman, not Tin Woodsman, as is frequently believed. Or Tin Man. Tin Man wasn't introduced until the MGM film. That was when they started calling him that. It was Tin Woodman before that. Most people misunderstood it as Woodsman. So. Alright, well that takes care of that, I guess. Hope everyone has a great week, and I will see y'all soon.